Alright, so we spend far too much time in our own heads, and it was the recent actions of a stranger that passed me by that made me genuinely aware of just how much difference we can make to the world when we choose to just step out of our own minds and, rather than put all of our energy into ourselves, actually offer some of that out into the world. So for context, I was passing this guy by, I was on my bike, he was on his, and as we went past each other, he decided to just put his hand out for a handshake, and after that we put a thumbs up and we both carried on our separate ways. And I noticed very quickly on the trajectory of my day, a time when I needed that boost, that instance of trying to reach out and create some connection there made a fundamental difference to my day. It made me feel happier for being seen and for having that connection with someone, and it radiated positivity within me that I wanted him to then have a fantastic day. I hoped for him to have a good time and a good life. I was struck into awareness when this whole event unfolded of just how much difference we can make to other people's lives when we just put a small amount of effort into actually reaching out and putting nice actions towards other people rather than reserving all of that for ourselves. We spend, mostly in negative terms, a tremendous amount of energy just thinking about ourselves. We worry and we use all of our resources in an effort to rectify that worry or to address our issues or to move closer to our goals. And we don't put enough of that time towards actually just making other people's days better. And what I noticed very critically was that the small action that this person put towards me was exactly that. It was a small but thoughtful gesture that genuinely made a difference to me. And to him, it was nothing more than just reaching his hand out when he was already on his bike. It was a small instance of effort, but it had wonderful repercussions for how my day went and for how I felt towards that person. A time in many of our lives where we will dedicate so much of ourselves towards improvement and towards addressing worries and towards just generally trying to fortify ourselves and push away much of the worry that life seems to throw at us. It's important to remember that you can genuinely make the difference you want in yourself come out in someone else just by the way you carry yourself, and you don't need to move heaven and earth in order to do that. It's important to remember that when we have these high and grandiose goals for ourselves and for our lives, that we shouldn't denigrate the value in just the small actions that make people's days. If you really want to make a difference in the world, then I can promise you, having the humility and the kindness to just say hello to people or to be the person who puts their hand up when they're on the bike will get you exactly that goal. If you're looking for big things in your life, then there are few things greater than being a genuinely kind person that people look towards with fondness. And it doesn't take a great deal for you to do that. Just get out of your own head, even once a day, and offer yourself and offer your kindness to someone else. Because you really don't know how much difference that makes to people, especially when they need it. And I noticed that that action created another aspiration around who it is that I want to be and how it is I want to carry myself. And it's important to recognise the value of that too. If you carry yourself in a way where you genuinely recognise people and you take the time to notice the world around you, then that rubs off on other people who will do the same thing. You set a positive example for the world when you choose to be kind, and that's a wonderful thing. So with that being said, keep in mind that as important as your high and mighty goals are, don't let go of just how critical it is to be a nice person and to just take care of the world around you, because it really does make a difference. See you in a bit.